probably pop culture wise, maybe the biggest buzz this week, which was this folding Samsung
Dude,
Galaxy Fold. Have you seen it?
I don't want to insult Samsung here. You know what I'm saying? Because Samsung, they might be in the Hall of Heroes next week, so I don't want to go too left with it. But yeah, I'm gonna let it fly because this phone, from what I understand, like when I put one and one together and get three, to me, is it plastic?
It's so the screen is plastic.
Okay.
Yeah, it itself looks like two of these, so two S10 pluses, basically. But the screen itself, in order to fold, is made out of a plastic.
Okay, so if you necessarily wanted a phone that was the size of two S10s that folded together to make one, why would you want that?
It's weird. So I love the Galaxy S10 Plus. I'm a little geeky, that's why we're covering.
He carries 4 phones.
I carry 1 million phones. I like it a lot, and I imagine somebody trying to pitch me the idea of one that's like, oh, it folds open and now it's 7.5 inches wide. Do you want that? And I'm like, not really. I mean this is kind of a big phone already.
Didn't we get away from folding phones? Isn't that the point?
I thought so. Then it's like, well, imagine if when you put it in your pocket, it was twice as thick.
Yo. That is insane.
I don't need that kind of help.
No, seriously. That's what, already when you're wearing a pair of shorts or something like that and you got your keys and then you got your phone, it's already a struggle.
Dude, what if you're in those gray sweats?
You're gonna look all kinds of bulbous.
You're gonna look like you're insinuating something.
Seriously, like you're happy to see people at all times.
And then on top of that, let's make the screen plastic. I feel a kind of way about that.
What is the price? What is the price? Do we know?
$2,000.
Okay, so it's affordable.
Yeah, it's basically an old Honda.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean, you could get either that or, I don't know, anything else you could cop with $2,000. I mean, it's up to you. Let
me tell you this, the worst thing though, and I really do hope that one day Samsung writes me a really huge check, but in the event that they don't, I don't mind pointing out these things are breaking, bro, on the reviewers. So they sent them out early to reviewers.
So like the ones that they made sure were dope, they sent out and they're breaking?
They are breaking.
Wow.
There's apparently like what looks like a film or like a screen protector that they're telling people they've told you not to touch this thing, but reviewers are anyway, and they're removing it because they're like, oh, I think this is a screen protector. I think this is optional. Turns out it's not, and it's wrecking these $2,000 machines. So they've got a lot to do in the week or so before this comes out to the public, or at least the pre-orders are shipped, in which they have to really educate people like, yo, don't mess with that pretty easy to remove film.
Don't touch your phone that you just bought.
Basically don't touch your $2,000 phone. Dude. Use your other phone.
Yeah. Just use this as something to talk about with people.
I am excited about the idea, though, and the idea would be that it's like a convergent device. It's a cell phone that becomes a tablet, and maybe you can get more done with it.
I see that. You know what I mean? It's a tablet that's a little bit more portable, I guess. You could say.
I think we're generations away from it. I'm a little curious why anyone like really jumped on this first one.
It feels like they jumped out the window a little early.
They really did. They're sort of beta testing it. by making
retail.
You pay $2,000.
Yeah.
Apple will probably get into this game with something that they've been refining for 25 years now. And I think that's what's missing here. A lot of people are comparing this to like the pendulum swing that was the iPhone, but what a lot of people don't realize is as much as the iPhone evolved after its release, at the time that was sort of a fully baked idea that was radically different, and it did all of those sort of quote unquote magical things that it did right out of the box. It worked. It was amazing. It made your BlackBerry feel silly.
Small tangent. Remember back in the day before your cell phone had the large screen, the touch screen, right?
Right.
Remember what it was like to have to go somewhere in your car without a GPS, or like remember what it was like to be on the phone with a person and be like, yo, what street is it? Yo, turn left at, you know what I mean, at the Oz tag on the corner, bust a Yui at the white fence, and then come around the corner. Then you know what I mean? And then like also like remember Razors and Nokias, and like I remember when these Jones were coming out, I was like, yo, this is it. Like nothing will ever get better. Like
Razor was the coolest phone possible.
It was dope.
Well, until the Sidekick too. I think the Sidekick was like, with the flipping screen.
Dude, I remember pagers. I remember when I had a beeper, I literally was like, this is it. like now people can like contact me when I'm down the woods at a keg.
Yeah.
Like this is amazing. You know what I'm saying?
The funny thing about that is my dad got a beeper, a pager for work when I was young, and I was like, oh my God, I want one so bad.
Yeah, like it was the cool when it was hanging off your pocket.
And he was like, this is the bane of my existence. Like,
like I hate this thing.
They can get me at any time. Why would you want this? And then I remember he saw or read something, and he was like, he came home one day like all fuming. He was like, remember the other day you asked me for a pager? You said you wanted a pager. I'm like, fucking 9, dude.
You're like, yeah, I do. Yeah,
I'm like,
definitely.
I want one. For sure, or a Pez dispenser, like
one or the other.
You choose. And he was like, "Are you dealing drugs?"
The question of the week,
dude. This is when, like, this is sort of pre-internet or very early internet, where like your parents saw stuff on TV
and automatically assumed,
that like Tupac was the worst thing that could ever happen because Al Gore said so, you know, or that if your kid wanted a pager to wear on the brim of his hat. I know you remember that.
Yo, remember the Looney Tunes?
He was a drug dealer.
The Looney Tunes shirt where it would be like Bugs and Taz, and on the back it would be the back of Bugs and Taz.
Yeah, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they had pagers on their jeans in one of those shirts.
They sure did.
That is so gangster.
Sick. Anyway, obviously, mobile's come a long way. These things are computers now. Yep. The idea that they can do all of these things is pretty crazy. We're not being super negative on this phone. It's an exciting thing. I think it's just something they should have put away for a little bit.
Yeah, you might want to tuck that.
And I really wanted to bring it up on the podcast because I want you guys to sound off wherever you are. If you're listening to just audio, you can find us on Twitter. Our Twitter's pretty cool. It's it's got some inside jokes for you. It announces some clipping that we do throughout the week of different pieces of the episode, and it communicates and follows back. So definitely hit us on Twitter and let us know what you think of this thing. And if you're watching on YouTube, you know how the comments work. Just jump down there. If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe. That still matters. I was informed all of this after my last little rant about YouTube on the last episode. So subscribe is still the most important thing. Hit the bell if you want to be notified or if you have trouble finding us in your subscribed feed.
Mm-hmm.